topic of pocket change. I've been putting a jar full in sleeves because I can't afford to lose the fee that a coin star would take. I feel like a goddamn deadbeat 'cause I had the money, I pissed it all away. Now I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. I feel like a lost cause. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But if he's thirsty enough, he will. The question at hand is not why I do this, when will I stop? Like a boom mountain, and I shot myself in my knees and my feet. Month of bad decisions, cars and laws, 3 weeks peace. Today I traded my plans for sleep. It's ironic, the topic of sleep, 'cause it's pushing 4 a.m. And I have a hell of a day on the horizon. Just might be hopeless. Here's my prognosis, as dumb as the day is long. Peter and Paul kicked my ass under God's command. I thought I was being baptized, but they just held me down.
Week 8 pocket change. So much to mention with this song. So, first thing that I sort of alluded to with Rudy was that I wrote that the same week I wrote Circles, so week 3. Now, you may be asking, if your intent was to stockpile some songs in case you got jammed up during the summer with your crazy work schedule, why did Rudy come out 3 weeks later? And the answer is because I started writing this song, and I knew it was good. I just had a whole vision for it. I actually remember showing a friend of mine the acoustic demo of it and being like, I'm only showing you this really bad demo so you can see how my kind of get an idea of like how my brain works when I'm writing. And we listened to this acoustic demo, and I just kind of like pointed out different things, and I was like, all right, like the drums are gonna sound like this. Gonna go to this section here. I'm feeling trumpet coming out of this part. Like, it's really talking through this idea, and it was cool. Like a couple days later, or when, I don't know when I showed him and when I finished the song, but it's being like, this is exactly what I said I was gonna do, and he's like, yeah. So, anyway, what I was saying at first, I wound up using Rudy almost immediately after I wrote it because I knew that I had this song kind of going on, but I needed more time to do what I wanted to do with it. So I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever. I'll put out Rudy, and then I'll keep working on it. And then, obviously, like some shit happened, and I felt compelled to write "It's the Eyes." Felt like I needed to just get those feelings out. And then finally, I returned to this song for week 8, and the lyrics are kind of speaking to the aftermath of Atlantic Shitty. I think I took some days off of work because I was just down fucking horrendous. And there was a miscommunication about PTO, and wound up not getting paid for that. And I was already in financial distress because of what I had gambled away during Atlantic Shitty. Yeah, I went to Taco Bell and got like 2 things off the dollar menu that I bought in change, and I had this giant jar full of change at home that I was putting all the change in sleeves because I was like, I literally can't lose the Coinstar fee. I need it all. I need every fucking cent that this change will give me. So, and then the chorus just kind of goes on to talk about, like, just how shitty I felt about all of it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like really? So, yeah, that was kind of it lyrically. Trying to think, I wanted to talk about some things recording wise. So this was the first song where something kind of changed with the drums. Jack and I were doing a record for a band at the time that still has not come out, so I'm not going to talk about it. But we're doing a record for a band at the time, and I was borrowing my friend Austin's his snare and his Kerope ride cymbal Zildjian thing. Sounds incredible. So I had them set up, and I used them on this song because Jack and I were doing drums for that other project at this time. This was the first time where normally my process is just kind of Jack and I would work on something, and then I would just roll with those kind of drum mics and settings and EQ things and just kind of import session data, like tweak stuff here and there. But for the most part, it was like, it was like my drums in my room. So it's pretty cut and dry. It's just an area that I could kind of hit record and go and not have to spend too much time on it. Whereas like guitar, depending on the song and what kind of tone it called for, it was just so much more, it was less of like a plug and play kind of deal. So yeah, I was using Austin shit. Austin played trumpet on this song, part rips. I was looking at the session. I set up the 7B and an Aston, and I don't remember where in the room. I feel like I do remember having the 7B closer than the Aston, and I was looking, and whatever I was trying to do EQ wise, I just fucking turned off all the plugins and sent it to some Verb, and that was what the trumpet sounded like in the room with some Verb on it. So that was pretty cool. Another thing to mention, I was poking around and found an acoustic version that I demoed out. I totally forgot it even existed. I just found it by accident today, because it was titled Week 6. So when I went to do the Rudy podcast, I clicked on that and realized that's not what it was, because this song was supposed to be Week 6, and Rudy was written Week 3, so it was like Week 3.5 or whatever. This shit's so boring. Don't need to harp on it, but yeah. The only other things I remember just like being super stoked on all the guitar parts. Like it started out as like a very like Owen-esque, like kind of, at least like the left channel guitar was a very like Owen-esque kind of like open tuning, like finger picked thing. And then it just gets into this like heavy part, and the like interplay of I don't want to call them chugs, but for lack of a better term, the interplay of the chugs where, I forget the rhythms, but the one's doing like jimp, jump, 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 and the other one's doing something like jump, jump, jump. I don't know. It's weird, but they kind of like go like off and on. It's like together, then off and on, and so on, so forth. Yeah, lyrically, like feel like there's some good ones in here. Feel like there's some that are just like, yeah, like whatever. But I love the line, "Here's my prognosis, I'm as dumb as the day is long." I just think that's a good line. I was super unsure about what followed. The Peter and Paul kicked my ass under God's command. I thought I was being baptized, but they just held me down. Thought it was kind of cringe, but I was like, whatever, I don't have anything else. And a couple people told me that they thought the line was good, so I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. Album art, I thought, since the song was going to be called Pocket Change, that it would be cool to have me laying on the ground with a shit ton of change dumped over me. But since I had cashed every bit of change I had to ask Colby. I was like, Colby, do you have a jar of change by chance? She's like, yeah. So she came over and dumped a jar of change on me, and then took a picture of it, and then we picked it all up. I just bumped my mic. Sorry. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all I got for this song. I think this is another good one. I feel like I got on a roll quick. Like just in the first 8 weeks, there's some really, really pretty good songs. So Yeah, that's all I got.